Women, what isn't nearly as attractive as many guys think it is? How are you? I'm good. Kinda horny lol. Okay bye. Once in a date, a guy asked me what kind of things I usually like to do, and I mentioned my hobbies. When I asked the same question back, he said something like, I like to spend most of my nights doing dirty things, with a smug look on his face. I swear that if I could roll my eyes 360 degrees, I would have done it. Seriously. Trying to insinuate that you have an active sexual life and you know your way around bed doesn't turn me on. Talking smack about other dudes to make themselves seem better. Having too much cologne on. According to my GF, getting out of the shower, taking your towel off, and shaking your at me. How hard are you shaking it? Asked my girlfriend this, and she promptly answered, without hesitation, their penis. Putting down other women in order to compliment me. She's too skinny and her boobs are definitely fake. I like well-proportioned women like you. It reminds me of you're not like other girls. It's a turn off to hear a guy completely judge a random stranger. Just say I have a nice figure. That would have worked. Hearing about your exes. Bonus red flag. All of them happen to be crazy. All of them. I wonder what they had in common. Rubbing the clit like you're trying to start a fire. I just want to point out, for the record, that not one woman has mentioned handbrake turns. Guys who think girls want to hear about their sexual encounters. I feel the same way about girls. I do not want to hear anything at all about your previous sexual encounters. Doesn't impress me, and just kinda invokes bad feeling in me. I also don't share my previous sexual encounters. I keep my private life private, unless specifically asked about. Talking about how you and your buddies could totally take on those other guys at the bar, who are usually minding their own business. There's a certain type of guy who gets a few drinks in and thinks it's really impressive to show off what a violent asshole they are. Saying I'm not like most guys, I'm a good guy, is the biggest red flag that you're actually a douche. Hair that is excessively gelled. Overly complex facial hair plus really gelled hair plus a lot of jewelry. It just looks too busy. Guys who act, or worse, aren't acting, like they don't know how to cook even the most basic food or clean their homes because they think women enjoy taking care of them like we're their moms. The same way some girls act dumb to make men feel smart, but with added insult because basic life skills aren't even difficult. Persistence. You ever have a guy friend who's obsessed with a girl, even though she's clearly not into him, tries to ignore his uncomfortable behavior? Often these guys have friends who encourage him to just get over her, but he's determined to win her over. Dude, listen to your friends. They can see what you're clearly too infatuated to realize. She's just not that into you. Interrupting me to sound smarter. Insulting others based on appearance to be funny. Being overconfident. I will hate you. Axe body spray. Making decisions on my behalf. Okay, it's fine when it's the small, thoughtful things, i.e., where to eat, but if it's constant and a power play, to the point where my no means very little, there is a problem. Also, that whole alpha-beta male thing, but that's just my opinion. Harsh ribbing or overly making fun of a woman they're interested in, clearly under the impression that it's playful flirtation and that women love it. This isn't to say every scenario is the same. Some people have flirtatious relationships where they poke fun at their partners and that's cool. What I don't like is when guys lay into women rather heavy-handedly with jokes at their expense, especially in front of others. Late to the party but I hate braggers. Being proud of an accomplishment is one thing, but we can see when you are oh, I'm cool with sleeping with other people, but I will be the first to know about it. Don't tell me. Your ass will be shown the door. Talking about how I'm a perfect angel, innocent, pristine goddess, etc. I'm actually a pretty flawed person. Don't hoist your fantasy onto me and then get pissed at me when I don't live up to it. I guess this isn't really what guys think is attractive, but it's still a thing that eventually will drive at least me away. This isn't only about guys. This goes for women too. Anyway, when they continue to joke about something that clearly upsets me, makes me feel uncomfortable, and I've told them to stop. Also, if they tell their friends about something you've specifically asked them not to tell anyone because it makes you feel uncomfortable, self-conscious or whatever. Bragging about how much money they make. If you enjoy your job, that's great. But I don't want to hear how much you make. I'm not impressed by it, and bragging about it completely turns me off. I feel like you're trying to buy me. Talking constantly on a date, to the point where you are either asking your date very few questions about herself, or she is unable to offer her opinion, experience on the topic of conversation. The point of dating is to get to know each other, not listen to someone drone on endlessly about themselves for a couple of hours. I really appreciate men who will let me learn without it being a big deal. I've been learning to back a trailer. It freaks me out a wee bit, but I've only done it twice. I'm actually alright at it, I just need practice. I don't want you to do it for me, and I don't want to be talked to like a child. I do appreciate you sharing what you know. Learning everything on your own is a drag, and girls don't always get the advantage of being taught by their dad. See what I can do before you assume you have to teach me, or assume I'd rather you do it for me. That's the worst. I can't do everything, but don't have any desire to be dependent on others for basic maintenance. I'm strong and capable too. Talking about how hot other women are in front of us makes us feel inadequate and or uncomfortable. I don't know if men think this is attractive, but I've had far too many men just simply not listen to me because they wanted to show off their masculinity. I had an ex that adamantly refused to let me open a door. Yes, opening the door is polite, but he would refuse to unlock the car when we were walking to it if I was going to get to the door first. I told him numerous times how weird and uncomfortable it made me, and he just said that women like that sort of thing, while I, a woman, was telling him I did not. I had an ex that thought his inability to do laundry made him a man. He didn't cook or clean and expected me to do it while he sat on the couch and drank beer, which he had me bring to him, because that's how relationships should work, despite me saying that it was making me resent him and wanting to end the relationship. I've had men tell me that I liked when they groped me, touched me inappropriately, kissed me without permission, because women like a guy who's sexually dominant. So, yeah, these were 100% all asshole behaviors in the first place. But it was the fact that they dismissed my own opinion away instantly because I was a woman that was really Before I met my husband, I'd go out with guys that would constantly tell me about their money or cars, etc. That's nice. I came from money and I was spoiled, but I don't live by that Tell me about you, not what you have. My husband, on our first date, was amazingly attentive and not materialistic. Not all men do this, of course. But catcalling. My question is, why? Like, do some of them find it as a genuine compliment, or do they just think it's funny? Personally, I find it kind of weird. Overly sexualized text messages. I think guys think it's hot to text stuff like, "I wish I could bend you over and stick this fat in your ass while you moan in pleasure." It's really gross. To me at least. Be sexual during sex, but if I am at work eating my cup of noodles, I really don't feel in the mood to get a text from you about your in my ass. For me, the big one is constant compliments. People only like to be complimented on what they are proud of or care about. Don't go constantly talking about how much I remind you of some celebrity when I've shown absolutely no interest in that topic. Chances are if a compliment hits home, she'll let you know with more than a simple thanks. Compliments are good to get the conversation started, but don't rely on them. After a whole, it'll seem fake and meaningless, or will make you appear pandering or manipulative. Also, don't be afraid to be negative at times. Though a conversation should start and end positively, disagreement in the middle is perfectly natural and can lead to extremely good conversation. Relationships, platonic or romantic, should be about improving yourself and your partner as you grow, and it's difficult to have that development if all you do is stay overly positive. Affliction shirts, tap-out shirts, Ed Hardy shirts, yellow trucks, low-cut shirts revealing puffy chest hairs, gold bracelets. How else will people know I'm a douche though? proclaiming during sex that they will rock my world, and then proceeding to not listen to anything I say I like or take any kind of non-verbal cues about what's doing it for me and what's not, and then acting annoyed at me when I lose interest. Seriously, you don't have a magical unicorn and I know better than you do what gets me off, so pay attention to what I'm trying to tell you. Being too aloof in an attempt to seem chill. Last few guys I've dated have made zero effort in making plans or actually making an effort to hang out unless I initiate, then are confused when I end it suggesting they weren't that into it to begin with. Don't go nuts, but I miss actually being asked out. It really makes me feel uncomfortable when a guy starts using pet names for me in the first few messages. Even just baby, honey or sweetie are so off-putting.